Late last night, the body of Gary Harrington was found in a ditch. The reason of death was many stabs in various areas. Many other murders have been reported following the last few months. The main suspect is Toby Rogers, who was believed to have died in a fire, but his body was never found. The TV blared the same news. There were various murderers around my area lately, but I was not afraid. What was the chance of me getting murdered? There are 40,000 people in my area. That is very slim. That is a very slim chance for me. I just resumed my day as usual. It was about 9:16 p.m. I was walking to the hospital to meet my cousin who had a close encounter with the murderer. The shortcut I used was nearly abandoned. There were only about 4 people on the street, including myself. The dark night seemed a little creepy. I do not get scared easily, so I was surprised at myself for being scared. I just continued walking. That was when I heard it crack. The sound, the sound echoed through the street. I turned around quickly, my eyes widened with fear. I then shrugged and laughed at myself for being scared. It was probably a stick that some squirrel stepped on. I continued to walk. A cold wind blew around me. The blew around me. The street light flickered. I jumped by how it went pitch black. For a second, I shrugged. I was actually scared, and even my inner self couldn't laugh. Then the sound came back. Crack! I looked behind me and I could have sworn I saw somebody running under the streetlight that was about 20 feet behind me. Your eyes are playing tricks on you, I thought to myself. I started picking up the pace. I was nearly running now. That was when I burst on one of the main streets. Glorious lights and cars and people greeted me, and I felt warm again. I was relieved. I then continued my walk to the hospital. I entered the hospital. The scent of disinfectants blasted me. I walked through the lit hallway. I took the elevator and went up to the floor. I got out and heard the sound. Crack! I turned around and saw something flashing by the window. I was actually and truly scared now. I shook with fear. I ran down the hallway and entered my cousin's room. Hello? She greeted me. I started to calm down. I told her my encounters. She looked as scared as I was. She then changed the subject. We talked about an hour. I'm going to get some coffee, okay? I said. She nodded. I walked out of the room and got into the elevator. By now I had completely forgotten about my creepy encounter. I got out of the elevator and walked into the cafeteria. I ordered an iced coffee. I then got out of the cafeteria. Then I heard the sound. Crack. The lights in the hallway went out. I then ducked behind a plant, scared witless. I had the hospital, heard the hospital doors open and saw a man walk in. He had orange goggles and a fabric covering his mouth. He wore a gray hoodie and had a hatchet. He walked by me. He tilted his head to the side and a crack sound was heard. He then got into the elevator and pressed the button for the elevator doors closed and then the lights came back on. I was shaking now. Oh no! I remembered that my cousin was on the 4th floor. I ran up the stairs. I opened the door labeled 4 and I ran down the hallway. I ran into my cousin's room and gasped. Blood splattered the walls. Blood leaked out of the bed. My cousin's body lay there, beaten and slashed. Tears welled up in my eye. Then I heard a sound behind me. I turned around and saw the man standing in the doorway. Blood splattered his clothes. and he had a hatchet in his hand. Shh, he whispered. I had then an idea. I ran towards the man, turned away, and ran towards the window. Glass shattered. Everywhere I had jumped through the window, I then saw the ground hundreds of feet below. Then I dropped. To be continued.